I recently helped one of my clients switch to the global talent route from a skilled worker visa, and 1 month later we applied for indefinite leave to remain. So that application was successful, and he and his family are now settled in the UK. There are a few points arising which I think you'll find helpful if you're looking to do the same thing or something similar. If you can get endorsed for global talent, then it's 3 years to indefinite leave to remain, but you can count the time that you had on the skilled worker route. You can see from rule GT 11.1 and 3 that the time here, I've marked both the innovator and the skilled worker categories counts. And this is also relevant to innovator applicants who maybe don't satisfy the settlement criteria under the innovator route. They can also switch to global talent in many circumstances. So the global talent visa is my favorite UK visa because of the freedom that it gives to my clients. You don't have to meet the success criteria like with the innovator visa. You do not have to work for a particular employer like with the skilled worker visa, and you're not beholden to anyone. So you're not accountable to the endorsing body, assuming that's Tech Nation, in respect of what you're doing in your business, in the way that you would be on the innovator visa. You do not have to pay any fees to the endorsing body beyond the government application fee that you pay at the beginning of the process, and you do pretty much anything you want on the visa. However, assuming that you want to qualify for indefinite leave to remain, you must have earned money in the UK in the specialist field for which you were endorsed. So the rules express this in terms of a need to have earned money in the UK in the field in which they were previously endorsed. But as is often the case, there are additional nuances when you come to the application form itself. So let's have a look at it. Firstly, it asks, have you earned money in your specialist field in your most recent period of leave on this route? And this is a super important point because you can't refer to activity that you've done before you got the global talent visa, and I'll come back to that point shortly. So the form goes on to ask for evidence of those previous earnings. So what I typically rely on here is the pay slips and personal bank statements. Then separately it asks, what evidence will you provide to show that your previous earnings were made while working in your expert field? So what you will want to do here is match up the language of the employer letter or other letter with the field in which you were previously endorsed, assuming that this truly reflects the substance of what you've been doing. So sometimes global talent visa holders lose track of what they've stated in the original application on the second page of the Tech Nation form. For example, data science, you may recall that list. So you'll want to remind yourself of that. And when you get the Tech Nation endorsement letter, it does not specify the niche or specialism. So this can make it really tricky for the Home Office to assess your ILR application when it comes to it. Bear in mind that the Home Office decision makers are not technical experts, so you'll need to spell this all out very clearly. The form even goes on to separately test that point by asking, how is your employment or self-employment in the UK related to your specialist field? Lastly, the form asks for the contact details for verification. So this could be your employer or a client who has paid you for the work, potentially. And it also gives you a final opportunity to explain the link between the activity that generated the revenue and the endorsement. And the rest of the SETO form for global talent applicants is more straightforward. You will specify the category, like exceptional talent, and you then add your dependents within the same form, like your dependent child and dependent partner, which is a relief because you don't have to add them separately and link the applications as you may have had to do when you submitted your initial visa application. And then this is the document checklist of the kind that you may then get for the global talent SETO form. You can see that it includes, for example, the employment contract, pay slips, and personal bank statements in this example. So a couple of points in conclusion. If you're applying for ILR on the global talent route, then firstly, if you're switching from another visa category and are either immediately entitled to apply for settlement or very soon, then make sure that you've earned some money in your specialist field for which you were endorsed within the actual global talent visa term. In my view, it would not be sufficient to rely on earlier earnings, for example, earnings from during your skilled worker or innovator terms. The second point is that although this category gives you a lot of freedom, probably more freedom than any other main applicant business immigration route, you still need to earn some money and be in a position to match that up with the original endorsement so that you can adequately evidence it all to the Home Office. If you want help or legal advice, I have a consultation call service, and you can get in touch with me using the consultation call link in the description below. I'd be happy to help.